Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my savings challenge update, so don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So as we are nearly into the 11th month of the year, I thought I would do an update on my savings challenges. I am going to change them for next year. I'm not going to do quite the same combination. That's just through experience of this year, I guess. But this is my savings challenge binder. All of these savings challenges are available on Etsy if you want to join me. But yeah, and actually to be fair, although I've got this here, I'm going to start with the penny saving challenge, which is on a digital download. It's on a piece of paper. I'm just going to move that out of the way and flatten that out so you can see that. So, I don't know if you can see as clearly as I can in person. I am behind on this now, and I don't think I'll get this done. So I've got most of the first two columns done, and then it is just really random for the rest of it. I love the penny saving challenge and I really like the concept of it. However, I don't do it every single day because on the days I don't spend, I generally don't think about money at all. And if I'm not spending, I don't have any change to put in and so on. So I don't do this on a daily basis. I do it as and when, as you can see, because that's why there's random things filled in. I'm okay with how this looks. I knew this would be the one where it's not quite so consistent because it just, for me, I do this with what I've got left over. All my savings challenges are done from money left over from my weekly budget, and sometimes that's quite a bit and sometimes it's not a lot at all. This is the one that almost comes last, and I knew that, and it's always been the case from the word go. I do this one every year. I really like it, to be fair. Some years are easier than others. Obviously the lower numbers are easier to do than the high numbers, although I have done the biggest numbers, if you can see on there. I have done the biggest numbers on this, which is good. It does leave you with a lot of change. I guess that's the point. But that's how that looks so far. And like I say, this was always the one where I knew it's a really simple idea, but it's not, yeah, unless you're really mindful of like, oh, I need to have 97 pence on the 97th day, which is, you know, for most people, if you're going to do it literally with cash, which is what I'm doing because that's how my whole budget works, the chances of you having certain numbers free or when you need them are relatively slim. So these ones, I think for the first ones, I'd actually did it as £1 and just tick loads of them off. But yeah, but we'll see. So that's how that goes so far. That's how it's looking. I'm okay with that. With 2 months to go, am I going to get all of those filled? Probably not. Not really. Not when I consider all the others. So yeah, so that's how that looks for now. Like I say, this is a digital download. I think it's £1.50 on my Etsy store if you want to start that. You can obviously start it at any time. It's a really good savings challenge to get you started. But that's the first one to show you. And then looking at my binder. So when I did this last time, I shared with you that I'd actually managed to complete my £1 coin challenge. And actually, so these are all reusable as well. If you get these from Etsy, all of the challenge cards are laminated so you can do them again and again. I haven't. I've just left that as is. It's quite a heavy wallet once there's £50 coins in there because that's what the £1 coin challenge adds up to. But I'm pleased that I've done that and I've left that there. £2 coins. So this is what this looks like as we are going into or ending the 10th month of the year. So I've got for £56 in £2 coins. They are definitely slow to get for me. I get pound coins often. £2 coins, really hit and miss. I've not had any in ages until I did the food shop last week and then got one. I don't get them very often. Not often at all. Actually, and I watched someone on TikTok and she has like one of those see-through plastic saving containers and it's like full of £2 coins, and I kind of comment going like, that's where all the £2 coins are, because she has loads. I love watching videos like that, by the way. I find it really, yeah, I wish I had as many as that, let's put it that way, but I watch them all the time. But yeah, that's my £2 coin challenge. If I get to it at the end and it's £100, that seems fairly unlikely given that I don't get them that often. So we'll see how that goes. Fiver Friday continues to be my favourite challenge. I am on track at the moment, so good as well. That's good for me. The simplicity of this is really good, and £5 doesn't seem too overwhelming. And yeah, I've already got this. In fact, I need to upload it to Etsy. I've got the Fiver Fridays and the Tenner Tuesdays for 2026 with all the dates as well. I love this challenge. This has been my favourite one. and I've only just done this year, and then I'm like, why on earth haven't I done this before now? Like, I love this, and you know, all being well, I'll have this £260 saved in here by the end of the year, and I just love it. I think it's so simple and so straightforward. And I do tend to actually get £5 notes quite regularly. At one point I wasn't, but recently, especially kind of in the past few weeks, I've always had a £5 note to add in there. So that has been, I think that's my favourite challenge overall of all the ones I've done. And like I say, my savings challenges next year, I'm going to do a different combination, but the Fiver Fridays one is going to stay, absolutely going to stay. I've got a couple of new ones to show you nearer the time. But yeah, but the Fiver Fridays one, obviously the dates will be different because it's a new year, but I just love this so much. I think it's such a fantastic and straightforward challenge. So that's how that looks. And then the final one, I've talked about how difficult I found this. So this is what it looks like so far. I've kind of got most of the smaller ones done, and then sometimes I've used like 2 weeks to make some of these bigger numbers, because I never have £52 left over in my budget, because my budget, if you've not seen that video, I budget £130 a week. So the fact I'm never going to get £52 left over unless I haven't eaten anything and travelled nowhere and whatever else, which is, you know, ridiculous. So I've got the earlier numbers done and some of the bigger numbers done, but it's all of these in the middle. And obviously, or maybe it's not obviously, but at this point in the game, I'm not going to get this all filled in. There's no way. And to be fair, when the total for this, if you do it properly, and again, you don't have to do it in order, I haven't. This just looks like I have, but I didn't actually. It says £1,378 in total. I can't remember the last time I saved that much money in 1 year anyway. So I knew this was always going to be a stretch challenge, because it always was. And you can see there's so many weeks, or there's so many numbers that I'm not going to have all that spare in the next 2 months. I'm not. I do love it as a challenge, and I think that if you are someone who has maybe slightly more wiggle room in their budget, then this one's a fantastic one to do. Again, like I said, all of these are laminated, so you can just rub it off and start again. I don't know if I'll do this one next year, because in some ways I find this really demotivating and really disappointing. I'm disappointed that I can't do that. Like, disappointed in myself that I can't figure out a way of doing this. And so I love this as a challenge. And do I wish I could do it? Yeah, of course, because then I'd have this at the end. I find this one the hardest in terms of it makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. And so I don't think this will be in my challenge for next year. Not 100% decided, but at the moment I'm swaying towards the fact that that's not how my budget works anymore. And so there's no point putting this in there if this is just going to make me feel rubbish, because I'm trying my best, even though it doesn't feel like that's enough. But that's what it looks like at the moment. You know, and it's going to be a fairly decent amount in there by the end of that, which is good. I will share also, somebody asked me, I think it was over on Instagram, what am I going to do with all the money that I'm using for these saving challenges? Well, there is a plan for that, and again, I will share that either at the end of the year or the start of the new year. I can't decide. But there is, and when I started this, I said it was going to be a deposit for Disneyland to take my boys back. I also don't know whether that's the case anymore. There's lots of decisions and things going on in the background at the moment that I just don't know. I will share more at the time, I'm sure, when I go through kind of the thought process of A, how much is in here when I count it all up, and then B, where it's actually going to go. But that is my savings challenges update for October 2025, the end of. And like I say, I'm really pleased with how lots of them are going. Just some of them, like this one, I just find I'm just disappointed I'm not doing better. But then I can't magic money from anywhere. It doesn't, you know. So there we go. So are you doing any money saving challenges? How are your challenges looking at the moment? Like I say, we've only got 2 months left of the year, which I find, bizarre really. The years definitely do go quicker the older you get. But yeah, that's my update for now. Thank you so much for watching as always. And if you haven't already, please can you like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow. And I'll be back with another video very soon.